Hey everybody, it's Zane Miller. I'm the YouTube and video marketing expert. I'm sitting here with Jason Fladlin, and he has an opportunity that I thought was so great that we needed to stop everything and do this hangout. He's actually put a multi-million-dollar business on hold just so he could focus on this one opportunity. And when he told me that he was stopping making $1,500 an hour, I was like, okay, no, we got to back up and we need to do this hangout right now. So let me go ahead and introduce Mr. Jason Fladlin.
Well, thank you for having me here, Zane. And yeah, we'll be selling vacuum cleaners door to door. That's the opportunity today, right? No, not really. Here's what's very interesting that I've discussed. So if you don't know who I am, or even if you don't know who Zane is and you stumbled upon this some way or another, here's what you should know very quickly about me. I sell internet marketing stuff to internet marketers, and it's kind of an interesting industry. Very lucrative if you do it right, and bonus points if you have ethics and values and stuff like that, because that's actually a competitive advantage in our market. And so people buy a lot of product from me, and I make a lot of money, as Zane says. And the thing is once you get to a certain level in your business where you are just banking it, there's this thing called opportunity cost that kicks in, and it's the challenge of if I take any time or attention or anything away from something that could make me $1,000 or $1,500 an hour, that's going to cost me. So if I spend 5 hours not doing those things, that costs me $6,000-7,000. And so if something comes along and I have to say, whoa, hold on a second, let me put on and pause this cash cow over here so I can start from the beginning, start from scratch, just like everybody else, and start building this. It has to be very, very good. And I want to preface this, and this is what I was telling Zane, to get him excited about this initially when this first came about. So I want to preface it with this. Now let me reveal the curtain and show you what I'm talking about here. It's this thing called Amazon. Ever heard of it?
Yeah, a few times, right? The biggest companies in the entire world.
Yeah, and it is the largest e-commerce retailer in the world. I don't know, and I really don't care how much billions they do per year. That doesn't really interest me. What interests me is Amazon has these services that they allow you to take advantage of. So if you're an internet marketer, they use this thing called, what is it, S3, Zane, where you can host your videos?
Yeah, Amazon S3, where you can host everything, and I love it.
So what happens in that scenario is Amazon has excess inventory, so to speak. They have all this hosting and this bandwidth and all this good stuff, and they say, hey, we can probably make a buck reselling this to other people, and it's the same data and infrastructural thing, blah, 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 that we use ourselves, so they kind of double dip. We'll build this, we'll use it for us, and we'll sell off the extra space because we built this amazing infrastructure. Well, did you know the same type of infrastructure exists for physical products? So where if I had my own private labeled, just for me and me only type of product that maybe I've manufactured somehow or another finagled, I could send it to Amazon. Amazon would sell it for me. Amazon would ship it for me. Amazon would fulfill that for me and take care of the first level customer support for me, and then they would only charge me like a 15% fee, and the rest would be mine out of pocket after I minused off all the cost involved with creating this product, right? That's called fulfillment by Amazon. Also known as FBA. And by the way, what's cool about using FBA is, say somebody's an Amazon Prime member. So Zane, are you a Prime member?
I am. I love that 2-day free shipping, right?
And that's the brilliant thing about it. Prime members get 2-day free shipping regardless, as long as whatever they buy is bought through Amazon, right? And so fulfilled by Amazon qualifies for 2-day shipping. So we don't even have to worry about our customers paying shipping costs. We only pay one shipping cost, and that's to ship our product to Amazon. That's it. And you would not believe how amazingly cheap. I think we could ship like 50 to 60 to 70 pounds of stuff to them for like $10.
Wow.
And that's our like shipping cost to fulfill that inventory to sell it on Amazon. Now, when I immediately told you this concept, Zane, what was the first thought that you had as far as a barrier to entry of taking advantage of fulfillment by Amazon? What kind of popped in your head?
Well, the first thing, okay, if everything else is taken care of, then what product should I start with?
Yeah, and you think immediately, and this is what most people think, is, that's all fine and dandy, Jason, but one big problem, I don't have my own private labeled physical product. I don't own a manufacturing plant, right? I get it, okay? I hear you. And no, you and your mom and your dad don't have to sit in the garage somewhere and manufacture it yourself and build stuff by hand and send it to Amazon, right? would you believe that there's a whole industry out there that specializes in the concept called private labeling? And if you've heard of private labeling before, typically, like when I service the internet marketing crowd, when they hear private labeling, they think of what we call the PLR products, where some ghostwriting nerd somewhere, probably from India, is paid a couple bucks to do research and create a supposed information product or a set of articles or whatever. And when it's done, somebody goes out there and sells it to like 100 or 200 or 300 people, and they say, hey, you can put your name on this, you can do whatever you want with it, and you can keep 100% of the profits, right? That's what typically people think with private label. But did you realize the same exact thing exists for physical products? So I can take, for example, I got these paper clips here, and they come in this box, right? I could take these paper clips, and I could call somebody somewhere on the phone. I guarantee you, within a few days, I could get my own private labeled version of paper clips and be selling them on Amazon. And so you see this code right here. This is a barcode. It's called a UPC code, unique product code. We would get our own unique product code. And what does that mean? A unique product code means that I and only I can sell under this brand. That's why it's private labeled. And so I won't have any competitors who are also selling under this brand. And I can call these, and for any product that's worth selling on Amazon, you can find a private label for it. And so the funny thing about this is, have you ever seen this, Zane? You go to Amazon and it'll say, buy this now, and it'll have this thing called the buy box, and you can click add to cart or one-click checkout or whatever it's called. But there's sometimes a link underneath it that says, also 36 new and used for cheaper price, right? Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, I have seen that. I've been kind of curious about what that's all about.
Yeah, and so the reason that occurs is because in some products there can be multiple resellers, okay? So a lot of different people can resell a product. So for example, if I buy something, I can go to eBay and I can resell it. I have that legal right, you know? So like if I buy a Dungeons and Dragon home box set, and I'm super excited about it, and then on one day I realize I don't like Dungeons and Dragons anymore, I can go on eBay and I can sell that, and I can get whatever price I want. I legally am able to resell the product, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now I could take that same product and resell it on Amazon. And so when a lot of people talk about FBA, they talk about goofy stuff like this. Hey, go to Goodwill. Find these little printer ink cartridges that they have at Goodwill and buy them for like $1. And then go to Amazon, ship them to Amazon, and sell them for like $15, and have Amazon fulfill it, and you're a reseller of ink cartridges, right? The problem with that, I mean, well, there's two problems with that. First of all, I don't know about you, Zane, but the thought of me going and trolling Goodwill and Salvation Army, I would rather work for somebody else and make a steady income than doing that, right? But beyond all that, the problem with that is anybody can really resell anything. And in many cases, you're fighting for what's known in Amazon as the buy box. So that thing, and who shows there? Who gets to sell? It's prominently featured. Because I'll tell you, 9 out of 10 people do not click that little hidden, 36 used and new options, okay? And so you're going to be one of those other people that are fighting for that if you're a reseller. But let's stop. Remember what I said? If you private label stuff, you're the only one with the UPC code, and you're the only one that can authorize resellers. And guess how many resellers we authorize for our physical products that we sell on Amazon?
0.
0. So that means we and only us get the buy box 100% of the time for our listing, and we don't have any direct competition with our product. We only compete with other similar products. So you say, okay, great, now we're in business, right? We're all done. I mean, that's the opportunity, right? Wrong. Because what's another hurdle that we have to cover, Zane? I mean, or what's something else that pops in your mind and say, okay, Jason, I bought into this process where I can get a private label product, I can get it going, I can send it to Amazon, I pay one shipping cost one time, which is to ship, you say I got 100 of these, or 500 of these, or 1,000 of these, or however many I've ordered to get my private label put on them, and I've sent them to Amazon. I paid the shipping cost one time, and now I'm in business, right? I mean, well, what are some other hurdles we have to deal with here?
Well, the first thing that comes to my mind is, okay, all those other things are taken care of, but does that mean people are going to buy my product?
Yeah, right. There are in any given category. Now, Amazon does something very interesting. I haven't quite figured out why they do this yet, but they do it like this. There's this thing called bestseller rank. And what is bestseller rank? In any top level category, as they refer to it, which is just a fancy way of saying Amazon has these categories which they consider like supreme category of categories. So beauty, for example, is one category. there's a whole bunch of them, and the cool thing is we can do a search here, and all you got to do is Google bestseller rank Amazon, and you can probably find it very quickly. Okay, so I found it. It's actually at amazon.com/best-sellers/ZGBS, whatever the hell that means, right? And on the left-hand side, there's all these departments. And so these are examples of top-level categories. There are appliances, as an example, beauty's one, like we said, automotive's another one, clothing's another one, home improvement, home and kitchen, patio, lawn, and garden. These are all top-level categories. Now, what's funny is any top-level category, you can see the top 100 bestsellers in that category. So, for example, if we go to home and kitchen, we can see the first one is this stainless steel trash can. This thing is the best seller in all of Amazon in home and kitchen, right? And then we see there's this blender bottle. Interesting. And then there's vegetable slicers number 3 at the time of recording this. Some sort of pitcher water filter things number 4, and it goes on and on, right? Now, in any given top level category like home and kitchen, if you had to guess, saying how many products do you suppose unique products, meaning that
Right.
products that have a UPC code are on Amazon that you can buy right now just in home and kitchen alone?
Oh, there's got to be into the thousands, these tens of thousands of products.
Hundreds of thousands.
Wow.
Okay, and I know this because typically when we get a product first listed on Amazon, it'll say like bestseller rank in the category 362,000th, right? And we're like, wow, that's a lot. I wish that was dollars because that's a lot. And so in any given category, there's hundreds of thousands of unique products. And what I mean by unique is not, there could be 150,000 different stainless steel trash cans, but each one of them has a unique product code, meaning that there's only one person who can authorize the sale of that and the resale of that on Amazon, right? And so there's a lot of products on Amazon. So just because you can get it to Amazon, just because you can get a private label, just because you can put it on Amazon where somebody can buy it, doesn't mean that somebody will buy it. Okay. So then the name of the game becomes, well, gee, how do I get somebody to buy my product? Well, there's 3 factors you got to take into consideration. Factor number 1 is positioning. Why should they buy your product as opposed to the 5 million other different products that they can purchase in your category or even on Amazon in general, right? So there's the positioning. So remember that, Zane, because we're going to touch on all of these. The second thing that you have to do here is the ability to be found. Okay, so we call this the search engine. So unlike Google search engine, where you go to google.com and type in stainless steel trash can, and who knows what you're going to get, and how hard is that to rank, I don't know. But if you go to amazon.com and type in stainless steel trash can, what do we have there?
Lists of trash cans.
We have search results. We have a search engine. So I'm going to type in stainless steel trash can right now, okay? And here's what's funny. The specific way I've done it, 2,644 results. So there are at least 2,644 unique product codes that are selling on Amazon. And there's actually more. They just quit listing it after that. There's 16 results on the first page here, right?
Right.
And so if you were on page 1 of stainless steel trash can, do you think that would make you some money?
Yeah, it seems like an innocuous, you don't think about item, but it's an important enough item that there's enough people who are always buying a trash can on a daily basis. Whoever's ranked high is probably making a good chunk of money.
Well, the good news is we don't have to guess because we can look at this first result, which at the time of this is this 9-star DZT. By the way, 9 stars, huge brand, right? Not really, okay? And this has a bestseller rank of 1,213 in all of home and kitchen. So this is easily a $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a month income stream here. And they're number 1 and number 2. Number 3 is simple human rectangular step trash can. Okay, and what are they ranked here? They are ranked 1,485th in home and kitchen, right? The big dog seller that was number 1 in all of stainless steel trash cans doesn't even show up in the first.
That's right.
So you say, well, hold on a second, Jason. I don't get that. Well, we'll get to that in a second. But what about this? If we go down a little bit, there's this thing called Tramontina, which, by the way, I've never heard of, right?
Right.
And it's a step can rectangular waste bin with freshener system, 13 gallons, aka a stainless steel trash can, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's what's interesting about this. This is on page 1. This is ranked about 9th or 10th. I'm not going to count it around there. But guess how many reviews that they have?
Um,
8.
8.
8 reviews. So why is that important? Here's why this is important. You say to me, Jason, how hard is it to get ranked on Amazon for a competitive keyword like stainless steel trash can? Well, the proof is in the pudding. Obviously, somebody with only 8 reviews of their product probably hasn't been here for very long, right?
But they're still competing with the big dogs on the first page.
On the first page.
Ah.
And they're a no-name brand. I mean, maybe you've heard of Tramontina. Probably not, though. We're not
Yeah.
talking like Glad trash bags here, right?
Right.
And how is it that they're able to get on page 1, even though they only have 8 reviews for a keyword? Because, by the way, stainless steel trash can, how long do you think it would take you to get on page 1 of Google?
Oh, geez. Off the top of my head, at least 4 or 5 months. If you
If
got some
you
really
did
good traffic. Right.
everything right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, how good of quality of traffic would you get as a result for that? Is everybody who is going to Google, are they looking to buy something?
It would be terrible traffic. I mean, no, there's all sorts of ways that you could be using the word stainless steel trash can that has nothing to do with buying a trash can.
Yeah, here's what we know about Amazon. It's a search engine for buyers. What's Google? It's a search engine for information seekers. Some of those are seeking information to buy, but not all of them, right?
Hmm.
And so if I had to choose between the two, I would much rather be ranked on the top of Amazon than the top of Google. Now, of these two, which do you think is easier to rank on the first page for?
I'm going to go ahead and go out on a limb and say Amazon.
Amazon. Now, here's why, and let's break this down and dissect this. And you say, okay, why would Amazon be easier to figure out and rank for? Well, I'll tell you why. If we have to, I mean, what's Google's main priority if they want to return a first page result for a keyword like stainless steel trash can? What do they really want to do to satisfy their customer
Oh,
in terms of
okay.
their search results?
They want relevancy. They want somebody to type something in and go, "That's exactly what I was looking for."
Exactly. So they want relevancy. So they want to return that result that person is looking for with the least amount of clicks on the customer's part. So Google wins if their customers are happy, and their customers are happy if they're getting their information they want. Now, Google makes their money how? They make 99% of their money, and they publish this in their shareholder because they're a public company. They make 99% of their money on advertisement, right?
Right.
So Google doesn't have to sell the end customer anything. They just have to get the end customer continually going to Google, and they make their money on advertising, right? So keep
Right.
that in mind. Now, the question to you, Zane, is what are some factors that we can use to determine relevancy? So we can say, hey, stainless steel trash can, this should be the #1 result because most people find this most relevant. I mean, what are we going to have to do to calculate relevancy? What are some of the factors we'd have to consider?
Well, we'd have to consider the website that the said trash can will be on, and the content that leads up to that, and every possible breadcrumb that we can leave for Google and people going through Google as clues of what this is about and specifically about.
Well, let me get really nerdy on you because I know some of the factors that Google measures. I don't know how important they are or what rank they are, and nobody in the world does, but something like this, bounce back rate. So if they search in Google for stainless steel trash can and they click your page, first of all, how many of them then immediately go back to the Google search results to look for
Right.
another answer, right? And then what's the speed at which they do that, the velocity of the bounce back, right? And they calculate that, okay? But it gets crazier. Google has to analyze content that's on your page
Mm.
and do a variety of different mathematical computations to figure out what's on this page that would be interesting to people in these situations, all right? But it gets better because Google's even going to measure activity on the page itself. If they clicked on this page, then did they go to this page? How many clicks did they make on this page? How far down did they scroll on the page, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many other people are linking into this page and referring it for these variety of contexts? How many people on the social sites, such as Google Plus, are plus wanting this or Facebook liking this? And there's a million little factors, and it's not an exact science by any stretch of the imagination, to determine something so ubiquitous as relevancy, right?
Right.
Now, Amazon. What does Amazon have to do to satisfy their customer? If they go to Amazon.com and they type in stainless steel trash can into the search results, what's Amazon's #1 priority that they have to do to satisfy their customer?
Is to display a bunch of high quality trash cans. I assume ones that people are very interested in.
Yeah, Amazon's job to say is you want to buy a trash can, you're going to find it and you're going to find it quick from us. Because if you don't, you will go somewhere else and buy it and we won't make any money, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all they really need to determine is what do customers like when they see as a result and what do they buy. Now, here's the other thing, keep in mind. Okay, keep in mind this very important factor here. How does Amazon make money?
When people buy stuff.
So Amazon then determines, well, gee, people are happy if they're buying things and they're satisfied with those things that they buy, and if it doesn't take them long to find what they want to buy. And all we have to measure as far as relevancy to our goal is how many people click on the first listing versus how many that click buy, right? That's the main metric.
Right, yeah.
And then number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. So like Google, they need data. They need lots of data just to be able to analyze your site and to find its place. That's why fresh sites on Google usually don't rank anywhere, because Google needs typically several months of historical data before they can even truly accurately gauge what the hell your site's about. They start with nothing, right?
Right.
Amazon, they start with no data too, that's true. But Amazon very quickly can find data, especially if you supply it to them in a certain way, which we'll talk about later, right? And they can very quickly see this thing's already listed and it's making money, and so there's no penalty for being new in Amazon. If you can show Amazon immediately that this thing is something customers are going to buy and they're going to freak out and they're going to convert really well and they're going to stay on this page and they're going to hit it and they're going to buy right away, right? Amazon can put you on page 1 in less than a week, and I've seen it before. 4 keywords even more competitive than stainless steel trash can, right?
Wow. All right. No, that totally makes sense.
So think about that for a second. Now we're going to come back to this in a little bit because there's a lot more to explore here. And there's actually 3 factors I have isolated, and only 3 factors that, at least as of now, you can rank for almost any competitive keyword on Amazon on the first page with the right approach. Now, obviously, you can't predict the future, so I don't know if it'll last forever, and your results might be different than mine, blah, 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 right? The whole point, though, is if I'm going to rank and get traffic and get exposure that way, why would I ever do it on Google when I could do it on Amazon?
Exactly.
Why, right? So that's what gets me really excited. And by the way, how many SEO experts are out there on Google?
It's an endless list, and it keeps growing.
Yeah, you walk into a mall and you say, hey, here's an SEO expert? And then 50 people raise their hand, right?
Yeah.
Now, who is an expert at Amazon SEO? I mean, I know a couple people, and they all make a lot of money, okay? But that's not an industry even, right?
Yeah, nobody wandering around a mall saying, "Yeah, that's me." Right? So,
it's not an industry,
yeah.
Okay? Because this is brand new. And just remember when Google AdWords and Google AdSense was brand new? What happened there? A lot of people had a lot of success, even if they were dumb, complete idiots, because the opportunity was there. And so this is what's really interesting to me now. Now, let's take a step back and let's remember when I said positioning is also important. And I don't mean search rank positioning, because say we get to page 1 one way or another. Why would somebody buy my no-name brand that they've never heard of before, that may be even higher priced than everything else on page 1, including known brands?
Right.
Why would they choose to purchase from me as opposed to somebody else? Why would they buy my stainless steel trash can? Why would they buy my silicone spatula? Why would they buy my baking mat? Why would they buy my yoga mat, right? By the way, these are all products that I know people are successfully selling to the tunes of tens of thousands of dollars a month on Amazon, right?
Right.
Why would they buy those from me as opposed to somebody else? Because, I mean, I'm just one little person that just started this business the other week or whatever, right?
Right.
Why would they?
Well, if I'm landing on that person's page, their product listing, I would think, well, wow, these pictures are telling me a story. There's something I'm really liking about this. Pictures, really, that's the first thing that my brain goes to of making a decision on buying something on Amazon.
Yeah, so there's a lot of factors. I think there's not a lot of factors involved. There's a few factors involved that carry a lot of weight. And so, for example, one of those is the product label that you put on it. So we say we got to private label this thing, right? So I got to get some guy somewhere to design a box for my private label paper clips, right? I got to get somebody somewhere to private label my, USB speaker box that I can sell. And by the way, I know somebody right now selling one like this. making bank. I got to private label somebody to do for my USB cable or whatever, right? And we got to design something, whatever. If it's on a box, it's on a box. If it's like a cream and it's got a label and it's in beauty, we got to get a label on it, right?
Mm.
So Zane, you're no graphic artist. What the heck? What are you gonna do? You're screwed, right? You can't get a label designed.
No, yeah, I wouldn't. The first thing I would think of is find somebody else to do it for me.
Okay, yep. So there's three ways of doing the label. The first way is to go to Fiverr, and for $5 or $10, I have seen some amazing labels being designed for people. Now, the problem with that is it's hit or miss. Zane and I have hired people for video marketing on Fiverr, and you might as well
Mhm.
just like hire 50 people and hope and cross your fingers that one of them will kick, right? Because one of them maybe will work. So what you pay for in terms of savings, like you pay $5 or $10, you will make up for probably in time. So the second option is Odesk, which is a very good option, and you'll pay somewhere between 80 to $100 for a really good high quality label where they'll design everything. They'll design your brand, your logo, and your product label, and what have you, right?
Mhm.
We usually go to a place called 99 Designs, and we'll pay $300 to get our label designed, which is still very good, and here's why: because it's a contest that you run at 99 Designs. So 15 or 20 or 30 or 40 different designers will give you full-on done designs, mock-ups of what they would do if you hired them, right? And then you
Mm.
pick the best of
Right.
the best, and you're done. The whole process takes less than a week, and so from soup to nuts, you could have a product private labeled, and in less than a week, you could have a label for that product attached and fixed to it, right? And
Yeah.
that's awesome, okay? Because for less than $500, there you go. There's your answer there. So that helps with the positioning. But the other problem here becomes is like what's so much better about my stainless steel trash can as opposed to somebody else? What happens if I'm in a market where I'm literally almost no different than any other competitor that's out there? And I mean, we don't have to look any farther than all these supplemental markets. So if I'm selling raspberry ketones, huge market, by the way, very profitable market. I know people doing very well on Amazon with that raspberry ketones, right? The formula is almost always the same, okay? So there's no difference really between buying one thing on Amazon versus buying another thing on Amazon. In fact, sometimes I know guys getting them from the same private labeler, but they were putting their own unique their own label on it, and the guy that's charging more money is making more sales. Crazy, huh? So this goes back into positioning. So we need to get a certain type of label that screams out to the person that, ooh, this looks nice, this looks attractive, this captures my eye, and that's why I click through on your listing as opposed to somebody else, because you've got my attention. That's what we need on Amazon. We don't need a brand. We need to get attention. And then really quickly, if you say, okay, hold on a sec, Jason, we forgot about the private labeling aspect. How do you handle that? Answer: Google search. So Zane, I got you to get a private labeled product on Amazon. How did you find your private labeler?
I went to Google and searched for my product private label rights.
And then you
And
send him an email or gave him a call?
yeah, yeah. Then I called it. There was a couple of them that I found, and I found the one that I liked the most. That would be the easiest for me to make things happen, and it was really as simple as that. It was actually way less intimidating than I was imagining it. Because to be honest, I was kind of slow to the game. So, but I did it, and it was way easier than I thought it would be.
Yeah, don't be scared to pick up the phone and call somebody. So what you have to do is you Google search. So I would Google search, stainless steel trash can private labeler or private label or stainless steel trash can manufacturer or stainless steel trash can whatever. Okay, there's a variety of different ways that you can find a private label. And then I'd find the ones in Google. I make a little list of 5 or 10 or 15 potential options, and then I pick up the phone and call them. Now people get scared about that. I say, come on. It's not that scary. Would you like to make a phone call and make money, or stay poor and be comfortable, right? You'll be more scared of what a poor future will look like for you than the scared that you're
Yeah.
feeling today, right? But beyond all that, these are people who you're a customer to them. So when you call up a manufacturer and and you say, hey, I want to private label this, right?
Right.
They're like, okay, let's talk. Because if you private label with them, they make money on you. Okay, so to them, they're happy they're eager, and they're excited to get your call. Okay, but the problem is this. I mean, gee, no manufacturer wants to deal with me unless I order like what we call a minimum order quantity, or an MOQ.
Hmm.
Unless I order like 1,000 or 2,000 or 5,000, right? Well, Zane, let me ask you this: what was your minimum order quantity when you got your first product on Amazon?
Mine was 100. Man. Wow.
100. Okay, and roughly, what was your cost then for your order?
That ran me about $550, and yeah, it was very very inexpensive. And actually, my brother and I were talking about it, and we're like, well, we could do like 25 units because they didn't have a minimum order quantity. I chose to pay 100, but I
Bingo,
could have done way less than that. But I was like, no,
bingo.
I feel good about this, right? Bingo, right there.
So depending on what you're selling, some of them have high minimum order quantities. I'm not going to deny that. And you know what happens when we run into those people? We just say next, right?
Yeah. Yep.
I've isolated over 35,000 products on Amazon that I could sell, that I could make a lot of money with, that would be worth my time. Unfortunately, I won't be able to sell them all. I don't have enough time in the day. But the thing is, if one of those doesn't have a minimum order quantity of 100 or less, so I can get started for less than $1,000 with my own private labeled version of this product, I just say next, because there's a lot of them that have no MOQ, and there's some of them that have 50 or 100. Now keep in mind, Zane just said $5 roughly to $6 is his hard cost
Mhm.
for the product. Now what are you going to retail that at roughly on Amazon?
$45.
$45. So Amazon's going to take a cut. There's going to be some miscellaneous expenses that'll occur with that. But you're going to even be conservative. Every time you make a sale at full retail price, you're making what, 20 to 25 bucks?
Yeah. I think it was yeah, 22.53.
So the margins are very high. I kind of laugh because in internet marketing, we have the same margins. If we have an affiliate promote us or we promote something as an affiliate, guess what? 50%, right?
Hmm.
Zane's getting better margins in his Amazon business than he does when we sell like Tube Method to internet marketing. Crazy. And what do you think's bigger? People want to buy information products about how to use Hangouts, or people that want to buy a stainless steel trash can, or they want to buy a vitamin C serum, or they want to buy a kettlebell, or whatever, the millions of different products out there that people buy in droves every single day. Okay, so that this is great, because then you say, okay, Jason, but so what? So say I get my yoga mat, and I call the supplier, and I only have to order a minimum of like 100 to get started, and they're each about $4 or $5 a piece or less in some cases. I've seen products for $2 a piece. So I'm looking at maybe $300, $400, $500 out of pocket for the inventory, maybe anywhere between $500 to $300 for the design and the logo, right?
Right, right.
Now, as far as shipping goes, and I feel a little weird saying this, our very first product that we sold on Amazon, I never single touched one time, okay? Because here's what happens. In Amazon, when you use Fulfillment by Amazon, when you're ready to ship something to them, they will send you a PDF, a shipping PDF. And here's what I did. I took that email when they sent me that PDF, and then I sent it over to my manufacturer. And I said, hey, you, attach this PDF to my shipment and just ship it for me. And I literally never once touched that product, okay? It went from the manufacturer directly to Amazon. I paid for the shipping from Amazon, and it was like $15, I think, $25. It was so small that it wasn't even worth thinking about, right? And we're in business with a product for less than $1,000 in overall hard cost, and we're ready to rock and roll on Amazon. I think that is incredible. And then now we go back to the same thing, because you're going to retail this product for about $45, right, Zane?
Hmm.
You got to be at the lowest end of the pricing spectrum compared to your competition, right?
Based on some savvy advice, I'm actually on the higher end of my products, which is totally counterintuitive to me.
It does not make any sense, okay? And I'll just tell you this, trust me, it works, okay? I could give you reasons why, but they're just guesses. Here's what I know. This is how, first of all, this is how do most people price a product when they want to sell it? And I don't care what it is. Any product that they want to sell on the market, whether physical, digital, anything, right? What's the pricing formula most people are using?
Find the lowest price product and then go a little bit less so you can get a lot of volume.
Yeah, and then the other way is they say, okay, who's selling at the low end, who's selling at the high end, who's selling in the middle, and then let me push it a little higher up than the middle price provider so I can make some money, right?
Right.
Those are the two main strategies for pricing that everybody does, right? Here's what we do on Amazon. We look at the highest end products as far as there's certain thresholds of what retailers will buy compulsively, pricing thresholds, and they depend on the market. But we say, what's the threshold of where we can get a compulsive buyer who won't think twice, and they'll just buy it if it makes sense to them immediately. They won't have to think it over. What's that threshold? And then we say, who is pushing towards that threshold, and what price point are they at? And then we come in at typically a similar price point. I try to be the highest price provider in my category for my product. That still doesn't cross that pricing threshold. So in a lot of retail markets, if you just want a formula, if you stay under $40, you're gold. So my mind almost immediately always leaps to $40. Can we do $39.95 or $37.77, right? In certain markets, you can even go higher. And I always recommend this to people once they start selling and start getting some sales. I say raise the price. I say here's what it costs you. It costs you 1 minute and about 2 keystrokes, right?
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, it doesn't sell, and then you go back and take another 2 minutes with another couple keystrokes, and then you lower the price back to what it was, right?
Right.
But nobody comes to your house and beats you with a baseball bat because you priced it too high, right? And in fact, here's what we've experienced in the real world. People will call us because we actually encourage people to call us. You don't have to do that, but you will after you start making a lot of money. You'll hire somebody, right?
Right.
Or they'll write you via email, or they'll post something somewhere, and they'll say, hey, I got a few questions before I buy your thing. Now, I know you're one of the best in the market because you have the highest price. And then blah, 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 yada, yada. But stop right there, right? People in Amazon, for whatever reason, a majority of them, not all of them, but a lot of them, look at lower price products as inferior. And they look at higher price products as superior. And our only competitive advantage is we have a higher price.
That's awesome.
Our product might be better, but it might not be, okay? Might be better, but it might not be. Now, if we're selling something like a yoga mat, okay, what do we got to do? When they unwrap that thing and use it for the first time, as long as it doesn't fall apart, blow up, smell really bad, or turn into a monster and try to kill them, right?
Right.
They're probably pretty happy, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
At the end of the day, I really don't care that we didn't spend the extra $10 in our profit margin to engineer a 3% extra enjoyment benefit, because I know that won't make me any money, even though it might supposedly make the product better, right? Cooking sheet. I have a gal that I've worked with who sold an amazing amount of cooking sheets on Amazon. You get the cookie sheet, as long as it doesn't fall apart, as long as it doesn't catch on fire when you put it in the oven, and as long as it doesn't stain and it looks nice, you're probably genuinely pretty satisfied, right?
Right.
We don't have to go to a remote Cayman island to extract a precious metal to make sure that this cooking sheet is the best cooking sheet in the whole damn world, right? So I'll tell you what, you will make less money doing that. So where do we win? We win because A, we price it higher. Okay, and we can change the price, and we can test what we like to call price elasticity. We always go as high as we possibly can, and if we sell it this high, we raise it until we hit that ceiling, and then we can lower it back down. So the price is our benefit. The other benefit that we have is the product positioning, and so the images go the longest way to that. But we get these 3D renderings as opposed to photos, and we pay a couple $100. Including the label, as we discussed already, and those look beautiful, and very few people, if any, actually do that in any given market. So we win in that regard. Our product looks more appealing to the eye at a glance, okay? The other thing we do is Amazon allows you on your product listing 5 bullet points. I want to read to you this. Now, keep in mind, this is a stainless steel trash can that's on already page 1, even with just 8 reviews, right? So they're brand new, didn't take much. They're in a market where nobody knows who they are, and they're on page 1. Let me read to you. And by the way, they're not even using fulfillment by Amazon, so you don't get free shipping. You don't get Prime shipping no matter what, and you have to wait 3 or 4 days to get this from some third-party vendor, right?
Right.
So that's another huge advantage. Just by being a Prime, just being fulfillment by Amazon, we appeal to all the Prime members. But let's just look at these bullet points. Bullet point number 1: space-saving stainless steel trash bin. Done.
Compelling and rich.
Bullet point number 2: perfect for your home or office. This is our competition, right? And these guys are not alone, because typically everybody's bullet points are like this. And so if we write better bullet points with more benefits, and where do we get those? I just read the other customer reviews, and I get an idea of what they really like in a trash can, what they want, and I use that same language. It's pretty simple. It's a formula.
Okay, so not other product descriptions, other people's reviews of the product.
I want to speak to the customer in the same language that they're using to buy, right?
Totally makes sense.
And unfortunately, like in internet marketing, it's very hard to do. Fortunately, in Amazon, it's very easy to do, because guess what? In any given product, I could read 500 reviews in a day if I wanted to. Now, I don't need to, okay? We read like 10 or 20, and that's what we put into our bullet points. So while these people are lucky to put in one benefit, we'll put in 5 benefits per bullet point, and we'll have 25 benefits by the time we're done just on bullet points. So
Right.
1 versus 25. Do you think that helps us sell product?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, now check this out. Here is the title in Amazon. Tramontina dash step can rectangular waste bin with freshener system dash 13 gallon. That's their title, right?
Mind blowing that they're on the first page. Seriously.
It really is, because they don't even have their main keyword in their title. Now, here's what's really cool. Google ranks based on keyword. That's part of their formula, right? Now, what's funny is Amazon does the same thing, but here's the deal with Amazon. It's very primitive how they measure keywords. They measure them in the title, and that's pretty much it. So if you keyword stuff or put a lot of really good keywords in the title, and you know how to find those keywords, we can rank for a variety of different search terms on Amazon for any given product. And of course, this person is doing none of that. Okay.
Yeah.
The worst thing that you can do is put your brand name as the title, and that's what they did here. Okay. Nobody's searching for Tramontina. Okay. And then the first thing, if you're going for stainless steel trash can, that should be the very first words. That should be the first phrase for your keyword title. Okay.
Yeah.
And then there's a variety of different methods. We won't be able to go through all of them today, but I know for a fact kitchen is, and I just did that in about 2 seconds just to do some keyword research on this. Kitchen is a massive keyword. And guess what? I'm looking at this. Nobody's putting kitchen in their titles. That's free traffic for us just by optimizing the title with these keywords, right? And so we can put 15 to 20 different keywords in a title, and just that one little effort right there, we will beat 99% of the competition, right?
That's
Here's the
awesome.
product description, by the way. The last thing to look at here. One big long paragraph, and that's it. And it's more of the same, you know? There's nothing great about this product description. So we're going to max out the product description. We'll use as many characters as they allow us. And we'll write a full-on sales letter here. And guess what happens? We win because we give them more information. We give them more benefits. We give them more description. We take more time with them to show them how great this thing is. Okay? We throw in a money-back guarantee, which, by the way, Amazon has anyway. So why don't we mention it and use it as a benefit? But nobody does that, right? And this is how we win. We win because A, the price is higher, and customers like that. B, the images are better, and we just paid somebody to render some images for us on a site, right? C, our title is better, so we're showing up in more places, okay? And the more you show up, the more you show up. The more you start showing up and frequently bought together, which is Amazon doing automatic marketing for you. The more you show up with customers who bought this item also bought this, and that's automatic free marketing for you, right? And there's a variety of different other ways. We win by having better bullet points, right? We win by having a better product description. Now, here's the most important thing of all. We win by having better reviews. So there are ways, and this is all you need to do to get started. You need about 3 5-star reviews because they show the 3 most helpful reviews. So you get 3 5-star reviews, and that's really what you're going to have to figure out how to do on your own. Get 3 5-star reviews and get them verified Amazon purchased reviews, and now you are ready to go because the reviews will help you sell as well. And then over time, hopefully, you start more proactively getting and soliciting reviews because those really help from a conversion standpoint. But that's how you compete, okay? That's how you compete. By the way, that's also how you rank. So remember earlier I was talking about how it's easier to rank on Amazon than Google, okay?
Yeah.
So what exactly do they look for in rankings? Well, we kind of touched upon it. Keywords in the title help them determine relevancy for certain search terms. Okay, reviews help a lot because reviews show Amazon that there's activity going on here, and the higher your review, the more Amazon's likely to put you at the top because Amazon doesn't want a customer buying a product and being pissed off, right?
Right.
So 5-star reviews help you rank because Amazon says, "Wow, this product must be good, so let's push it up and see what happens," right? Now here's the third, and this is the most, well, there's 4 actually. The third thing is how much is it selling volume-wise, right?
Right.
And so, and by the way, it's not historical. If I move 50 units of any product in about an hour, Amazon thinks I'm a god because you take 300,000 products in any category, 280,000 of them are barely selling one a day. So it only takes a little bit to get kick-started on Amazon.
Say that again one more time.
So if there's like 300,000 products in a given category, about 280,000 of them are lucky if they're selling one a day.
Wow.
So it's feast or famine. So all we got to do is jumpstart. It's like jumpstarting a car, right? All we got to do is jumpstart this thing, and then Amazon can typically take over. But I can put anything on page 1 probably of Amazon for almost any keyword. I can't get it to necessarily stick though. unless the conversion is maintained.
Ah, okay.
So here's what I mean. We can push the conversion up front and the sales volume. There's some tricks and there's some ways to very quickly move a lot of units uh, of your product on Amazon, right? In a
Mhm.
very short amount of time, and that'll tell Amazon, "Oh man, this is a big mover. So let's push this up, right?"
Right.
And then at the same time, with the conversion rate, which is even more important, meaning like if 10 people hit your site and 9 of them buy, Amazon says, "Whoa, this is super relevant to them because look at how great it's
Mm,
converting. Almost everybody who visits this page buys." So this is the 1-2 punch. This will push you up to page 2 and page 1 for almost any search term. And I'm talking like search terms like baking mat, right? I'm
yeah.
not talking like cutthroat search terms that you would never hope in your life to be ranked on Google for. And even if you were, it wouldn't make you any money because it's not a buying
Right.
search engine, right? But check this out.
Right.
I can push them there, but if you get if Amazon keeps pushing you up like the salmon swimming upstream to its home, and they keep pushing you up from page 2 to page 1, and you finally land there, when people start searching for your term, if they click on your listing organically and they don't buy, Amazon will kick you right back out if you don't maintain that same conversion rate, right?
Right. Feast or famine.
Feast or famine. So once you get it there, you have to make it stick. And so there's a couple ways to make it stick. One of those is continually getting new reviews coming in. That helps because it shows activity to Amazon. Another one is just making sure you have the right type of copy. And so like the title, like we talked about, will get you up there, but the images help you stick. The bullet points help you stick. The product description helps you stick. But the reviews are most important to get it to stick. But at first, you don't even need any reviews. We can rank it. And then getting it to stick is having a system to continually get reviews over and over again, okay?
Ah, all right.
Now, there are some other things, some finer points here that we might want to discuss here really quickly. Like one of them is like, hey, if you know all this and you're having your manufacturer, Jason, send it to them.
What? No,
Why,
I was just gonna bring that up.
why wouldn't the manufacturer just sell it themselves, right?
Yeah, yeah, they've got all the product. It's already there. We're just stepping in as the middleman, and you always hear like eliminate the middleman so you can
Yeah.
do X, Y, Z. Why would they just not do it themselves?
Hey, Zane, you got a library card, right? Why don't you do your own taxes for your business?
I'd just rather not. Way too much of a headache.
So you can go down to the library, check out a book on taxes, get up on the tax code, and do your own taxes, right?
Yeah, I mean, I could. You're absolutely right. I could, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
That's not an effective use of my time.
Manufacturers specializing in manufacturing, okay? They do not specialize in marketing. Marketing is like a foreign language to them. They don't care about it. They don't want to do it. They don't want to sell to the end consumer. They want to sell to the retailer, which is you, right?
Right.
That's the case 99% of the time. Now, in the cases where the manufacturer also wants to double dip, we say thanks because your guys' stuff sucks anyway because you're not marketers. So we don't care, right? In fact, we usually can get a better deal because they'll come to us and saying, how come you're ordering so much? What are you doing, right? And we could say, hey, knock down my price a little bit on the next order quantity and I'll tell you. But manufacturers specialize in manufacturing. They're happy all day long to have you sell it for them, right?
Okay. All right. Now, okay. So in that same vein of manufacturers, though, like the first thing that I think of is, well, if I take a look at anything and look underneath it, like say this little speaker set that I've got, underneath it is going to say something about from China. Right now, I could Google all sorts of private labelers and everything like that, but am I going to find out that I'm going to be buying products from China and have a much bigger cost and all more headaches than I'm going to have?
Yeah, here's the thing. The first few products that we ever did, we never went to China. Going to China is a very viable option. And what I mean by going to China, I don't mean getting on a freaking plane and flying for 20 hours, okay?
Right.
I mean getting on Skype and talking to them, because by the way, that's how the Chinese typically like to communicate. You can go to a site like Alibaba, and you can go to town on that. And that's not that bad of a place to find private labelers. What you'll typically find at sites like Alibaba, if you want to go to China, is they'll middleman it. Who you're talking to there is then running to a factory and they're marking it up and they're making their cut, right?
Oh, okay. All right. That
I
makes
love
sense.
that, by the way, because if it's cheap enough for me still, I don't care if somebody wants to make some money
Right.
off me, and frankly, it usually speeds up the process. Now, you might say, well,
Right. Okay.
geez, Jason, anybody can go to Alibaba, right? And anybody can private label the same thing. But they don't, okay?
Yeah. No, they don't. They could, but they don't.
Or they do, but they don't do it on Amazon. Or they do and they do it on Amazon, but they ship it to Amazon once and they sit back and they think it's going to sell itself. They don't jumpstart it, right? I mean, they could do anything in the world, okay? But they don't. So you can go to Alibaba. There's other places and other ways to go to China. By the way, just Google searching to me. I don't care if they show up from the United States or China. I take a look at them, right? When we first started, though, because we really wanted to make money as fast as humanly possible, I mean, gee, imagine that, right? We skipped China because we're like, I don't even want to wait for the shipping of China because that's going to take a while, and I don't want to have to take the time because the Chinese are a little bit slower and they're a little bit more thorough and they're a little bit more on the relationship side of things. We just went to the U.S. We just only went in products because, like I said, I've identified over 33,000 products that I would love to sell on Amazon. That are the market's there, the demand's there, the profit margins are there for me, 50% or more, right?
Right.
And out of those 30,000, there's easily 10,000 of those that we don't even have to go outside of the United States for. In fact, if you're selling a supplement, you would be a fool to go outside of the United States for that. There's some products that have to be sourced in the United States, okay? There are other products like a U.S. flag, which we really want to sell. We can't find a private labeler at a decent price in the United States, right? We got to go to China if we want to go get a U.S. flag. Isn't that funny, right?
That is, yeah. That. Wait, should I say? Does that seem ironic to you?
Yeah,
No,
you know, and
no.
then you could talk about the ramifications of that politically. I don't care. I'm in this game to make money,
Yeah,
right?
right,
And so if that's what it's got to take, it's got to take. But if you're hung up on that deal, it doesn't matter. Now, let's just say, because we're selling this on Amazon.com, let's just say you're outside the United States, right?
right.
I'm in the UK. Can I do it? Yes, you can do it on .com. Okay, there's one more step involved. It's not that hard of a step, but we have many people successfully selling on the .com, even though they live in the UK. We got people from the Netherlands. We got people from Australia. We even got people from weird, smaller countries that I don't even know if I can pronounce the names of, right? But that's not an issue, okay? The real issue is what? There's a couple of them, and let me tell you what they are. The first issue is if this is all brand new to you, it's like saying, hey, I'm going to go through the jungle without a tour guide. You might make it out alive,
Maybe, yeah.
but you might not, right? So if you've never done this before and you can have a tour guide lead you through it, or you can try to do it on your own, right? You will save money by paying a tour guide. Okay. Otherwise, you'll buy stock that doesn't work. You'll pick the wrong type of product that doesn't have the right demand or the right competitiveness to it, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
you 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 will spend way too long getting the thing going, right? You will spend more money doing it on your own than hiring a tour guide, okay? Here's the other issue with some of this stuff, right? When you say, gee, Jason, maybe I need help with these bullet points. Maybe I don't know how to do the keyword search in Amazon. Maybe I don't feel quite comfortable outsourcing the design and the label process and what labels and what designs and what things pop the most, right?
Absolutely. I couldn't even imagine trying to go through this by myself. Like just thinking about it and going through this conversation, if I didn't have any extra help, I'd just be like, that sounds nice, but I'm not going to do it.
What about the review system? How do you continue to keep reviews, right? What about the other things that we talked about as far as what's a minimum order quantity that you should go with? When's your restocking? How much should you sell before you restock it, right? What do you need to do to stick a ranking, and what are all the tricks involved, right? Now, this is what's really cool about this. The first time I heard about this was in March of 2013. Okay, so we're talking, because we're doing this in April 2014, now this hangout's occurring. We're talking a year and a month ago. And wow, sounds great, right? I didn't know anything about this. I didn't even know fulfillment by Amazon existed. I thought, oh, this is like affiliate marketing on Amazon, right?
Right.
Wrong. It has nothing to do. You can be in a state that does not allow this affiliate marketing in Amazon, and you can still do fulfillment by Amazon, two separate things, right? But I say, I'm in. This sounds great, because there was a course called Amazing Selling Machine that came out, and I was so swept up with this concept that I said, there might be some merit to this. Let me play around, but I'm not going to dive in head first because I might drown. Let me put my toe in the water, right? Because I got a $4.5 million business already rocking and rolling. So this thing must have some promise for me to even spend an iota of a second of a time on it, right?
Yeah.
So we put our toe in the water. We said, we're going to start off with this product, a beauty product. which, by the way, I'm not that beautiful. I don't know anything about it. We're selling it to women, right? So what do I know about it? We find a minimum order quantity of 20 units for about $10 a unit. So we're $200 out of pocket to start this business, right? And even though I have a lot of money, I never start a new business by throwing money at it. I always bootstrap, because if you can't make it work without money, you're not going to make it work with money,
Yeah,
okay?
right.
And so we get the order, we get it shipped in, and I say, you know what? I got a little concept, because I am good at marketing in general. I got a little concept. I heard that if you sell a whole bunch of units, and it doesn't even really matter what price or what your profit margin is when you first sell them. I heard supposedly from this Amazing Selling Machine course that helps your ranking really quickly. Let's do this. So we put it out there, and we saw our first churn of units just like that. Okay, because I used this little trick on Facebook. And we're like, cool. We order some more units this time. We say, okay, we just sold 20 units, and we're already on like page 4 for our keyword, and this was a 2-word keyword, super competitive, right? So we said, okay, there's some merit here. I didn't believe it at first, because I never believed the pitch until I experienced it myself, right? So let's order some more. So we ordered 200 units. And we do that. We go back to Facebook, and we do what we know how to do to push units really fast, because, by the way, people buy from Amazon. They trust the brand. It doesn't have to be your brand. It's Amazon, right?
Right.
And we moved 200 units in 4 days.
Nice.
We lose money on the deal, okay? I'll be straight with you. I call this buying a page 1 listing. It's not for everybody, okay? But we run these units, and by April of 2013, less than 1 month after we started with this product and this business, we're on page 1 for this keyword term, right?
Nicely done.
We're generating about $5,000 a month. Okay, and the amount of work is, and I couldn't even tell you because I didn't do it. I had somebody on my team log in once a day and check our inventory to make sure we're good, and then when they needed to, they placed a reorder, right? And beyond that, maybe once or twice a month, a customer would write in with a question, and that was our total customer support. So I had them do that as well, right? And the beautiful thing is Amazon pays you directly into your bank account every 14 days, whatever profit you have. So we never had to buy anything out never had to restock unless we paid out a profit, right? So we never had to go in our pocket again. Okay, by June, we were number 1 for that keyword term, right?
Wow.
And I said, there's something here.
Yeah.
I like thing, right? And this was a seasonal product. You don't have to do seasonal. We did in this case because we didn't know what we were doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And during its season, we were doing $10,000 to $12,000 a month from this one little product, right? Very first time we did this out of the box. Total work was really 4 days up front, and we made this work. And we said, there's something here, right?
Right.
So we got very serious about this business, and along this time, we've been pushing on this thing. And then Amazing Selling Machine, by the way, when it first launched in March of last year, was open for about a week, and then it closed. So coming now down the pipeline in October of 2013, they reopen it again. They're taking on new members because they don't want to dilute the market and put too many people through the system at once, and they want to make sure they take care of everybody, right?
Right.
And so they come back again, and I'm an affiliate, so I promote it, Amazing Selling Machine, because I have the great results myself. We've created a little community because we promoted it the first time in March, and we said, hey, follow along with us as we do this business. So they did. So we got this great community of people. Lots of them are also succeeding. A lot of them are using the same trick on Facebook that I use, plus a couple other tricks for the reviews and things like that I've developed, right?
Mm-hmm.
October comes along, and I ping Zane, and I tell him about this concept. And I said, hey, Zane, I want to get this out to everybody and anybody who I can, because I think this is the best opportunity for anybody right now who's serious and wants to grow their business and wants to make some serious money, right? So I go, let's utilize what you have. I'll owe you, okay? You can call in a favor on me later, right? But let's get on a hangout. I'm going to interview. You're going to interview me, and I'm going to talk about the system very similar to what we did today, right? Now, my goal was not to sell Zane on the concept, okay? My goal was just to sell whoever was watching this hangout on the concept. But when it was over, little known to me, is Zane goes and he buys the course himself, right?
Yeah, blew my mind.
Zane realized the opportunity as soon as he heard it and listened to me explain it, as I've done here today. So Zane becomes a customer of mine. And Zane can tell you firsthand, in this little private group we have of people who have bought through me as an affiliate, you've seen the results of what we've armed our people with, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's great to see over and over again this little screenshot of just like, hey, here I just made $5,000 this month, and then another screenshot. As the community keeps going and going, because that's one of the things that I love the most about it is that there's never a question of what to do next. You can always go in and plug into this Facebook group and from not just Jason and Will, but to all the other veterans who are making month after month this huge amounts of cash and going, oh, here's a recommendation. You should do this or try this. Always someone there to help you.
We're probably number 50 on the list of successful people in our own group as far as the hierarchy of who's making the most amount of money with their Amazon business. We're probably like 50th, right? There's 49 people that are ahead of us in our own group that Zane's a part of now because he bought through me, and that you can be a part of as well when you follow the link to buy on this Hangout, which we'll put on the screen and also be in the description, right? So this is what's going on here. Now, we said we're so excited about this concept, and we wanted so many people to succeed with this thing that we started doing crazy stuff. Like, we started calling friends and family, telling them, you need to get in, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I mean, this is better than any course I've personally created. I've created a lot, and this has more success stories than any course I've ever seen produce in all my years I've been in internet marketing, right? So we say, what can we do for our customers and the people we contact with to give them an unfair advantage? Not just over any other Amazon seller, but anybody else who's an amazing selling machine, right? So
Right.
we started thinking, if anybody buys through our affiliate link, which you can do so right here in this video, let's hook them up with some extra special stuff. And what can that be? So the cool thing is this is all kind of things that we've built ourselves for our own business. So one of the things that we decided that we wanted to do was Amazing Selling Machine teaches you to go and look at the top level categories and find somebody with a bestseller rank between 0 to 100. And that's where you should start getting ideas for your products, right?
Right.
The problem with that is, why don't they go any lower? Well, they can't because Amazon only lists 100 sellers, right?
Right.
So during ASM1, that was fine because everybody was doing this. When ASM2 launched again in October, there was some competition. Now, with ASM3 launching again here in this week, right, and it's open now again, you think with everybody going back and going from 0 to 100 and all these different top-level categories, of which there are about 16 viable ones,
Mm.
there's probably going to be a lot of stepping on toes. Everybody's going to still make some money, I think.
Right.
It's just not
Right.
going to be as easy as it was, right? So what we did, because we foresaw this, and Zane has seen this in action, when ASM2 launched, we built the whole software, and it's super complicated, cost us tens of thousands of dollars to engineer, but we have a way of looking at the bestseller rank and looking it up for any type of product. And furthermore, we have a way of dialing in between different price ceilings of what can be profitable and what can't be profitable, different reviews. I mean, how many reviews does it take to get on page one? If there's products on there with less than 10 reviews on page one, we're like gold mine, you know? And so we can dial it in and we can find products that nobody else can find in Amazing Selling Machine or elsewhere. Only people who are on our private little, what we call the ASM Masters group who've bought through my affiliate link, right? So anybody who gets that, anybody who signs up through the link that you're seeing in this Hangout, you're going to get that, okay? Now here's what happened that was very interesting. The very first time we did ASM1 back in March of 2013, there was a customer of mine who bought. His name was Madsen. Okay, Madsen had been a customer of mine for over 5 years, and he had spent a lot of money with me. Okay, and Madsen had never really succeeded at a level where I don't think he'd ever made his money back from the amount of stuff he bought from me. Right? This is a guy who's your typical internet marketer who buys a whole bunch of stuff and doesn't have a lot to show for it. Right? Madsen buys an ASM1 and he gets into this category. It's so cool, and he starts selling $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a month, automatically, all from Amazon, doing nothing else but getting it ranked, like the strategy we talked about earlier, one time, and now Amazon's cooking. I think they're about at 100,000. You know him, Zane, because he lives right by you, actually, right?
Yeah. We just had lunch yesterday, and he was like, "Yeah, we're almost there to that 100K a month badge," and I'm like, then why do we like? Why are you even here? Why aren't you on a beach somewhere and you're talking to me? Like it was mind blowing.
Yeah, this is not a fictional guy we made up to try to sell you a course. This is a real guy who'd never had success really before at this level until he took this course through me as an affiliate and had my bonuses besides him. And he's really and he's smart enough to apply that, apply the formula and follow it to a T and get the results, right? So what I've done is because Matt's so thrilled to have been access to these things that I provided him access to, plus turning him on to this opportunity. Matson comes back and says, Jason, anybody who buys from you, because I'm so grateful, I will allow them to, if they wish to, choose to do for free to them as a bonus 3 consultations with me and my brother, okay, me or my brother, because him and his brother did this business together, Matson and Morgan, right? So one of your options as a bonus is if you want to work with Morgan and Matson, they will help you. They will analyze your product ideas. So you'll pick 5 or 10 products or whatever, and they'll tell you which one they think is going to be most profitable. They'll help you optimize the title, and these guys do keyword Amazon stuff better than anybody in the world that I've ever seen, right? They will analyze your images as well, and you get 3, I think they're 30-minute sessions with them, okay? Or if you prefer, because we have to pay these guys ourselves to provide this, we pay them out of our pocket. Or if instead of the coaching, you want to have us design your label for you, you can apply that for a bonus. Those are your 2 options for that bonus, okay? That's incredible. Now, bonus number 3 here that we're providing is I will personally work with you one-on-one for a 20-minute consult. And the main purpose of this is I will do the copy critique for your bullet points and for your product description. Now, Zane can tell you, because he's worked with me for a couple years now in the internet marketing side of business. Zane, am I a pretty good copywriter? Do I know what I'm doing?
Yeah, you're one of the best. In fact, like it's like, oh, Jason Fladlin wrote the copy. It's all. Ooh.
Yeah, Zane has
Yeah.
seen me write copy that has made hundreds of thousands of dollars in less than a couple hours from scratch, and it's almost magical how I can dial it in and do it. And I can do it off the top of my head. And I have done more critiques for Amazing Selling Machine members on their Amazon listings than anybody that's alive, okay? Because when we promoted ASM in March of 2013, we were the #1 affiliate, meaning we referred more people than anybody else did, and it was the biggest launch of the year until October when they relaunched again, and then that was the biggest launch of the year. It was even bigger than March, and we were the #1 affiliate again, right? And that means I have more people going through me. I've worked with more people hands-on than any other person that has promoted this course. And Matt and Jason, the guys who've created Amazing Selling Machine, they're not down in the trenches. They don't need to be with you one-on-one, right? They did a good enough job creating the whole course. So I'm down there with you one-on-one. So you get that as well from me, okay? Now it gets even better than that. As Zane was alluding to earlier, we have this private Facebook group that anybody who purchases through our link on this video gets access to, okay? And I'm in there. My business partner, Wilson Matos, is in there. Zane Miller is in there as well, okay? And then, like I said, I'm probably 50th on the, Matson's in there, and Morgan, I'm like 50th on the list of successful people just in that private Facebook group. There's so many high-level smart people. If you have any questions at all, you have no idea, like, what's a UPC code? First of all, that's redundant. It's a unique product code, right? What's a UPC? Then you can ask it in there. Somebody will tell you. If you say, hey, how do I set up a Seller Central account so I can start doing fulfillment by Amazon? Even if it's in the course, which it is on Amazing Selling Machine, you can still ask it in our group and you'll get an answer, right? And you'll get so many people sharing stories of what they can do and what you can do to be successful. Like Bruce Hoover, he's in there. He's a very successful guy with this business. Bruce went to the live event that Amazing Selling Machine had last year, and he got on stage and he shared a tip, and it was awarded best tip of the whole event. So he won $1,000 for it. Bruce is in my group, okay, and Bruce shared that tip with us months before anybody else had heard it, right? And so we have that going for us as well, which is nice, okay? And that's a bonus, okay? So now here's where it gets really, really starting to get super exciting, okay? One of the ways that you rank on Amazon is if people actually go to Amazon and type in your name or your keyword and then find you and then click and then buy, because it tells Amazon they found you organically and this is your conversion rate, right? The only problem is if you've got a brand new product and you're on like page 12, nobody's going to go all the way to page 12 and buy. So what's the answer to that? Well, we have a piece of software, and I can't say any more than this. We have a piece of software that takes care of that. And it's the only piece of software on the earth that exists that works like this, that actually has been proven. And Zane can tell you, because people post about it all the time in the Facebook group. They said, I used this piece of software, and my listing shot up 80 spots overnight. I used this piece of software, and my listing shot up 10 pages overnight, right?
Yeah. No, I can tell you. We went from, for our keyword, page, not rank, but page 258 to page 4 in 3 days because of this tool.
Bingo, right? And then you say, Jason, how'd you guys move 50 units so fast 4 days in a row? Well, I have a whole training system exactly, specifically on how you can do that with your Amazon products, and that's in there as well. Now, I've saved the best for last, and this just happened. The timing could not have been better. I wish I could have claimed that I planned and orchestrated all this, but I didn't. It just happened this way. One of the biggest challenges that we've had with our people who have bought Amazing Selling Machine is the review issue, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Will and I, for the last 6 months, we have poured hundreds of thousands of dollars of our own money building an engine that basically markets your product for you with the whole thing of, I'll give you a deal on this product if you in turn give me a review, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Honest, unbiased
Right.
review, right? And then if it's good, we then urge them to post it on Amazon, and so that way we can filter out the bad reviews and only get the good reviews, right?
Right.
Well, this thing we finally built it because it took about 6 months of building. It finally got finished April 5th. So I started running some traffic to it because I know how to do that, and I teach that. It's the same trick that we did to move 50 units really fast that you get access to. So I running this traffic to the site for this deal site, and then guess what happened? On April 10th, it went viral, and we had 1,000 different people claim a product in exchange for a review. At a later given time, an honest, unbiased review. And we've had people go and move 50, 60, 100 units in a single day with this system, and it just started the other day. It finally hit that tipping point where it went viral because of the way that we position. I can't reveal the details, and you actually will not ever know what we're doing with this thing because I can't reveal them to you because it's very trade secret specific. But all you have to do is once you get a product listed on Amazon, and if you want to join our review system, you just give us the details. We'll ask for a couple. It's a form. It takes you 2 minutes to fill out. We'll push it in there, and we'll help you. Now, the beautiful thing is it's a 1-2 punch because it will move those units for you super fast initially, which will help with your ranking, and it will also get you those reviews that we talked about, which there's no other person in the world who has access to something like this. And we're the first people to crack the code. There's a lot of people talking about it and promising supposedly in the future they're going to have something like this. We've proven it. We had over 50 members yesterday see a benefit just in that one day when this thing tipped over. And the rate is continuing. It's getting bigger actually today than it was yesterday. So who knows what it's going to be like tomorrow. But we had we had 4 people get their bestseller badge from Amazon. They became the bestseller in their category. Not the top level category, but like a
Right.
secondary level category overnight because this system kicked in. And it's just starting. And so if you buy through the link that you see on this Hangout, you're going to get access to that as well. Nobody's gotten access to this before because it just started. So it's clear, it's obvious, we got the best deal that you're going to get if you buy through our affiliate link. So when you go and sign up for an Amazing Selling Machine, at first you might freak out and say, wow, this course is, if I pay one time up front, it's like $39.97, or I can split it over, or $34.97, right? Or I can split it over 4 payments of $9.97, something like that. You say, wow, they're awful proud of that thing. That price is pretty high, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, no, I said the same thing.
My answer is compared to what? Okay.
Right. And initially I was like, wow, but when I got into the group and I started experiencing it, I was like, you know what? I am glad that there was a higher price because it's one of those things that they were so dedicated to helping me. I mean, like we're talking about since October of 2013, there has never been a point where like, Jason and Will just sort of disappeared. They were always there, and it's like, you know what? I'm glad I have some of the best internet marketers in the world focused on helping me in this group and not just being like, all right, well, see ya, because it's worth their time.
Here's the bottom line. You're going to have to invest in something to improve your future financial situation. There's no doubt about that. So the question doesn't become do I or do I not invest in things? Because we're going to invest in stuff, right? So then you have to ask yourself, what's the best way to invest my money to improve my financial situation? And I bet you if you stopped and sat back and calculated over the last 12 or 18 months or what have you, you could probably total up in miscellaneous purchases $4,000 without breaking a sweat, right? And the question is, what do you have to show for that? Probably not a lot. Because you never have came across a system like this. You've never seen value synthesized and engineered like this. You can't give a Mercedes-Benz style experience at a Ford Pinto price. You just can't do that,
Right.
right? So it's going to be painful for you to make this investment. It's a big upfront investment. But the key word here is A, it's an investment, and B, compared to what? The value you get in return to that is the most important thing. So if I said to you, hey, I got this, 5,000 square foot house. It's too big for me. There's nothing wrong with it, but I don't want it anymore. Would you take it off my hands for $200,000? You wouldn't say, wow, $200,000 is a lot of money. You'd say, where do I sign up, right? So
Right.
don't measure this thing by the price point. Measure this thing by the value that it provides. So up front, you're going to pay about $9.97 a month if you want to go that route. I personally prefer you do the full payment option up front because you save $500. But if it comes down to if that's going to stretch you too thin, do the $9.97 up front and then take the rest of the money and put it into inventory because it's going to cost you about $1,000 of out-of-pocket cost to get started and get up and running on Amazon, right? So you're going to pay about $3,500 to $4,000 for the course, depending if you do the one lump payment or the payment plan. Plus, you're going to pay about another $1,000. So just ballpark yourself about $5,000 for this investment. Does that seem like a lot? Well, I'll tell you what. You want to start a regular physical product business? That's $100,000 loan from the bank and 18 months of your life before you even hope to break even, right? You say, well, gee, Jason, I want to buy another internet marketing course for a couple $100. Well, that's fine, okay? But you're going to spend all this time sitting and building websites. You're going to spend all this time. When we started Zane, we didn't even have a domain name for this Amazon business. We didn't have a website, and we were #1 in Amazon. Purely just through Amazon itself, right?
Yeah, no website, no.
Nothing. 100% completely outsourced for the most part. I wrote the copy, but everything else was outsourced. And we didn't create the product. We did none of that stuff, right? So yeah, you might be able to buy a $500 course on the internet about internet marketing, make money that way, but then you spend 5 weeks creating your own information product when you could spend 2 days calling people on the phone and getting a private label and having the same margins, right? Mm-hmm. So yes, the initial investment appears to be steep, but in reality, once you dissect it, you realize it's an absolute deal. Because here's what you get. When you sign up for Amazing Selling Machine, they give you 8 sessions spaced 1 week apart. They are freaking amazing. What you'll notice is there's actually not a lot there. It's a very simple system, which is a benefit. You only have to spend a couple hours a week going through, learning it, and then applying it. And by week 3, you can no doubt about it, and I've seen it happen a whole bunch of times, have your product listed on Amazon. So that's worth a lot just right there. But in addition, these guys arm you with 9 specific pieces of software, which are pretty powerful, okay, which help you with certain things on Amazon that make it really smooth and really easy, and I recommend that you take a look at those. They also have a support forum that is awesome, so you can ask anything or you can get help there, and they'll take care of you. In addition, they do live Q&A, and they make sure everybody is aimed for success. They also do these things with badges. It's like a gamification thing, like, hey, get your first product listed, you get this badge. And they track everybody's success stories. And you can see the average customer sales from all the ASM members right now are $7.2 million per month. And that's just those who apply for the badges. That's verified income, right? There's not a course alive that has those results. Awesome. That track record, right? And so they do this by giving you an amazing experience. So it's not how much do I pay, it's what can the return be for me, and you can't point anywhere else that has the track record of success stories, the track record of being there for people, and that's just with Amazing Selling Machine. Then when you factor in our bonuses, which we talked about before, where I will personally help you with your sales copy, where we can get your label designed for you, or you can get hands-on coaching with one of the most successful Amazing Selling Machine members that there is, right? Where we can work together in the Facebook group to help solve any issues that you may have personally, where you get access to a variety of different pieces of software, including a way to source products that nobody else has, a way to rank them in a way that nobody else has, and a way to get reviews in the way nobody else has. I mean, most of these success stories are coming from people that don't have the advantage that you have. I mean, obviously my group is highly more successful than the average Amazing Selling Machine person, which is already highly more successful than anybody else taking any other course, right? So it's pretty clear and it's pretty obvious, and this is why Zane is happy to be here with me here today, helping you make the best decision to say, yes, this is a big investment, but yes, it is worth it. Let me roll up my sleeves, let me sign up and get started. And when you go and you sign up right now from the links that are provided here on the description or in this Hangout, you will be able to start getting immediate access. What you can find from us is the top level of support in all the industry. Rapid Crush, which is my company, provides better support than anybody in internet marketing. I have the statistics to prove it, and I will pay somebody $1,000 they can point to a company in internet marketing that has better support than we do, because it can't be done, at least right now, right? So we will be there for you. So as soon as you sign up, immediately we'll have information on the page that you go to sign up on how you can contact us so you can start getting your bonuses and start getting in our community ASAP. The course is funny because the course is going to start the week after. So when you sign up today, you're not really going to get any access to anything in Amazing Selling Machine. You have to wait till next week. But my customers don't wait. We get the ball rolling, and we get ahead of everybody else immediately from the beginning. So that way, we get a head start. So we're the first to enjoy all the benefits, right? So go ahead, go there right now, sign up. You will absolutely be thrilled you did. Zane, were you happy to make this investment?
Yeah, I gotta say, I've just been, kind of containing my comment here because I gotta be direct. The best way to explain this is that, yeah, Amazing Selling Machine was great, and I consumed all the content in there and checked out the badges, and it was great. But eventually it got to the point that I forgot my login password because I was just like they brought me into this Facebook group, and I didn't see any reason to go anywhere outside of that because all of the really cool stuff, the really cutting edge stuff, was happening in Jason's Facebook group. So I actually forgot. I remember now, but at the time I had forgot because it'd been so long since I'd logged in.
Absolutely. I mean, we really we distill it down to the most actionable, simplest way to execute and succeed, and we give you an amazing advantage you can't get anywhere else when you sign up. And that's why Zane's here today with me, and we're doing our best to try to get you in here because I know the hardest part is signing up. And once you get in there, you're going to be glad you did. You're going to see the value, and you're going to thank me. And maybe I'll change your life, like Matson's life was changed, and like Jennifer Robinson's. And she went from a stay-at-home mom to now she's crushing it on Amazon in ways that I can't even fathom, and it just on and on and on and on. Okay. So go ahead, sign up right now. If you need anything from us on that page with the URL that you get here from this Hangout, you can contact us and we can do our best to help you. If you need to arrange like special payments, like spread it out over multiple credit cards or whatnot, we can take care of you. I don't care what you need to do, but you need to get in some way or another. So go ahead, sign up now, and we're going to take care of you. Okay? So Zane, I would love to stay and answer some more questions here. I gotta run here, unfortunately. Time is obviously tight right now. We're really working with the people that are signing up for
Right.
Amazing Selling Machine right now, making sure we're taking care of them, and we'll welcome anybody else who comes through on this as well. So thank you for having me here. It's always a pleasure because I know I can talk about something like this that I know is absolutely so powerful, so valuable, and it's not me selling this thing. That's not the way I look at it. It's me providing an opportunity and helping people see, wow, this is the thing that's going to change everything. And for that, I'm honored to be able to have the ability to do that. And so thank you for allowing me to do that here today on this Hangout.
Well, yeah, and thank you for being here because it's always insightful information that you provide us. So great to have you here, and thank you again for your time. And we'll have to do another one of these hangouts soon.
Absolutely. Thanks.
All right, see you.